Hi there. Okay, so in this video, I wanted to talk a little bit about Varsity Tutors. This is one of the other companies that I am a contractor for. So I do tutoring, you know, as needed, and I set my own schedule. I do have several students. If I click up here, you can see the students list, but it actually shows all their names and contact information. So I'm not going to click on that. Right now, I'm in the scheduled tab, and of course, you'll be able to see all of this after you have applied with them, and they do have an online application. It is fairly easy. If you want to look, you can watch one of my other videos about doing an online application or applying online. So that way you make sure to have, all your ducks in a row before you go through that application process. You're not exactly going through it blind. Anyway, so one of the things that I really like about Varsity Tutors is that, um, well, I can obviously make my own schedule. Um, so there's different opportunities that come through. I'll show you that really quick. And like right now, these are the new opportunities, and I can choose to accept them or decline them, and it tells me, what the subject is, how often. Sometimes it's ongoing, sometimes it's, only once. It gives you the approximate start date. So this, in theory, is wanting to start tomorrow, and it's online. So, and then some of these are, only about a mile and a half away. Others are, 12 miles. You can determine how far you're willing to travel and all that. And I actually do get different rates versus tutoring online versus tutoring in person. The tutoring in person rates are approximately $8 more an hour. So I mean, you just gotta have to figure out what's gonna be good for you. I mean, if you're taking into consideration your travel time and stuff for some of these, like, traveling 22, almost 23 miles in, North Dallas traffic, even if I'm getting, that extra $8 per hour, they're not counting my travel time in that, amount that I'm getting paid. It's only, once I'm there and once I'm tutoring. So it's just tutoring time. So just take that into consideration, and whether or not, you want to travel that kind of distance, or if you just want to tutor online, it's completely up to you. I would recommend doing a mix of them though. I personally like going to tutor some of these kids, and some of them may be adults too. That's another thing on here. I have had several adult learners. Most of those I do tutor online. And the ones that I tutor in person are usually in elementary school, middle school, or high school. And so then you can see more about it when you click on the view details, and then you can determine whether or not you want to accept it. And then once Oh, this actually gives me more information, so I'm going to go back. So it gives you way more information, more in depth about the location. It'll give you like the actual location as soon as you're partnered with them. Just because you say that you're interested in an opportunity doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get that opportunity. So just kind of keep that in mind. However, you want to make sure that you're not overbooking yourself as well, because a lot of them have very specific days and times that they can meet. So you just kind of want to make sure that their schedule and your schedule can be worked out. Anyway, so when I click on schedule, I'm actually traveling this week, so I'm not doing any in-person tutoring sessions. I will have another tutoring session on Saturday afternoon. I'm not going to go up anymore because then it's going to show you information about my student. But I just wanted to show you how easy it is to book a session on here. So you can click and drag for a time frame. Oh, this is the past, sorry. Okay, so if I just click, it'll create a block for me. If you are tutoring online, it usually does not allow you to create a block that's shorter than an hour and a half. they are working on a new feature that you will be able to. So it's really just easy. You select the time frame, and decide choose whether or not it's going to be a recurring appointment or not a recurring appointment, and then you can select your student. I'm not going to select my student because it's going to give you the first and last name. Your students, sometimes they will have one subject that you will tutor them in. Sometimes it can be multiple. It just depends on what you're comfortable tutoring, what you have gone through the system and selected and said, hey, yes, I can tutor this versus no, I can't tutor that. Some things you do have to be tested first before Varsity Tutors will approve you to be a tutor in that subject. So just keep that in mind as well. There are a lot of them that you might be comfortable with that you won't have to take any sort of exam for. But the exams are online and they're pretty short, so they're not bad. And then you can select the venue. The venue is just whether it's going to be in person or online. And a lot of that just depends on your student. I think I have two high school students that I tutor, and I think they're the only ones that I have the option to do in person or online. The rest of them, it's usually predetermined when they make their contract with Varsity Tutors. That's the other thing. You don't have to worry about any of the contracts and stuff yourself. So Varsity Tutors does essentially all the marketing, and they have the kids, and then they pair you up, basically is how it works, based on what your tutoring skills are and kind of what your schedule is. And sometimes it can be location. If they don't want to do online, they want an in-person tutor. So keep that in mind too. And another thing that you have to pay attention to as well is, especially if you're doing online tutoring sessions, just because you're doing an online tutoring session does not mean they're going to be in the same time zone as you. Also, they do have these new little things. I'm glad this did it while I was recording. Instant tutoring opportunities. So I can click on see details, and then I could potentially get in and start tutoring somebody right now. I'm not going to click on see details because I don't want it to give their name and information and everything. So the other thing is you actually go through and you do your own invoicing as well. So as soon as you're done with tutoring, you can invoice a new session. So you do this all through the Varsity Tutors platform. You just go through, you click on this and select your student. Then you're going to select how long it was. It's going to ask you to select what subject you tutored them in. Usually, I only have a couple of people that I've ever tutored that have multiple subjects. Usually they'll only have probably one subject that you're going to tutor them in. So you just select the subject that you normally tutor them in. That's going to be like your only option anyway. And then it's going to come up with a box that you're going to fill out the information and just kind of talk about what you covered during that tutoring session. And then you submit it, and that's it. It's really easy. And you can see, I actually get paid twice a week, and my pay really varies on how many sessions I schedule and that sort of thing, and how many sessions they need. So this is not my main source of income. This is just kind of an extra source of income that gets me out of the house when I go tutor the in-person students, and this is something that is can be done during the day. So during the day, my time, since I'm normally teaching the kids in China in the mornings and sometimes in the evenings on Fridays or Saturdays. I'll teach on the evenings during the week for them as well if they are on like some sort of holiday from school or something like that, and I don't have a bunch of other tutoring or anything going on, and I just want to get some extra hours in, then that's a great way to do it. But so that's another thing that I do like about Varsity Tutors. This is, tutoring that I can do during my day instead of, having to work overnight to get more hours or something like I would if I wanted to do VIP Kid full time or something like that. So if you're looking for a part-time gig, then this is absolutely a great opportunity. Although, depending on the area that you live in, especially with all the opportunities that are becoming available, you definitely could potentially make it a full-time gig if you wanted to, but it's all in what you make it. And what you're comfortable with teaching. As you can see, I get a wide variety of tutoring opportunities that come to me because I have numerous um, numerous subjects that I'm comfortable tutoring in, and I make sure to put that all on my personal account. Let's see, maybe I can show you on here. So you have your profile picture and you have your little personal statement. You can upload your resume if you want. It's going to have various profile questions, and then in here you can select the subjects that you're comfortable tutoring. So then you can see all of these. I opted out of tutoring C++ because I'm not that comfortable with it. I do know some computer programming, but C++ is not one of the languages that I'm fluent in by any means. So, and then I need to take the tests for psychology, pre-algebra, and IB psychology in order to be able to tutor in those. But you can see I'm approved for all of these other ones, teaching CLEP Spanish, so that to help people study for CLEP exams, because I did several of those when I graduated high school. CSS, ESL, obviously, elementary reading, math. Those ones are really easy. I mean, basically, if you're comfortable tutoring those, you're basically almost automatically approved as soon as you get hired on. But you can see I've got numerous, and I could even add more subjects. They have a ridiculous amount of subjects in it, and that's just awesome. So if there's one that you're particularly good in, especially if you're good at tutoring for different tests, I would highly, highly recommend this. There's also tons of great tutor resources that you get once you join with Varsity Tutors. And they have an online tutoring demo, so that way you can get comfortable with their online tutoring platform, which is amazing, by the way. It's super awesome. They even have it's got like a little whiteboard in there. You can share documents with the student. You can see each other. You can hear each other. I mean, it's basically like you're there. It even has a code editor built into their tutoring platform. So it's really great. I really enjoy that. And I mean, their tech support is amazing as well. They're very responsive if you're having any issues while you're tutoring. So I've never had to really worry about that at all. So I will leave my link and more information about Varsity Tutors below, and a link to my new website. So check that out and let me know if you have any questions or comments, concerns, you want help about with the interview process, or have any sort of those questions, let me know. And make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit that little bell so that way you can get alerts about the new videos that I have coming up. And I will talk to you soon.